One was convicted of accepting millions of dollars in bribes. Another was found with nearly $100,000 in cash hidden in his freezer. So why are you still footing the retirement funds for these congressmen turned criminals? Cheryl Atkinson follows the money.
You've probably never heard of 78-year-old Congressman Howard Coble of North Carolina.
You're a superhero here.
Yeah.
But after this story, you might never forget him. It's not so much what he's done in 25 years in Congress, but what he's not going to do. Take his congressional pension.
I figure taxpayers pay my salary. Not a bad salary, and I figure that that's sufficient. Let me fend for myself after the salary is collected.
As far as we know, only Coble and one other Congressman, Ron Paul, have pledged to refuse their pensions. Pensions funded primarily by your tax dollars. Just 18% of private workers have a traditional pension, down from nearly 80% 25 years ago. Today, more than 400 retired members of Congress are receiving congressional pensions. For 2009, the bill comes to $26 million. Add to that $7.4 million more in taxpayer contributions to current members' future pensions every year. Few would begrudge the hardworking members of Congress a little retirement security. What might surprise you is that those who dishonored the office can still get their pensions while doing time. Specific details are kept confidential even though your money's at stake, so we use the congressional pension formulas to calculate estimates of what congressional cons are getting. Duke Cunningham admitted accepting millions in bribes, but he's still getting $42,000 a year while in prison. Jim Traficant also took bribes while in office, but he didn't even have to ask for the $300,000 pension he received while serving 7 years in prison. Dan Rostenkowski served 15 months in prison in the mid-90s for his role in a corruption scandal. He earned a 6-figure pension the whole time. Today, he receives more than $176,000 a year. That includes a $9,000 cost of living raise this year alone. According to public records, Rostenkowski owns 3 homes and waterfront property in Florida. All 3 refuse to speak to us. We found more than 24 ex-members of Congress still eligible for congressional pensions despite being convicted of serious crimes. Debbie Wasserman-Schultz oversees congressional pension funding.
I think it's abhorrent that convicted members of Congress who are serving time or about to serve time, that they should not be earning a pension.
In 2007, Congress passed a law to bar future congressional criminals from collecting pensions, but constitutionally, it can't apply to crimes that had already been committed. That's great news for ex-Congressman William Jefferson, shown taking a bribe in 2005 in this undercover FBI video.
Yes, you can keep it in there if you like.
Sent off to prison last month, Jefferson could exit after 13 years with a $674,000 nest egg. That's 7 times the $90,000 the feds found hidden among the Boca burgers in his freezer. 25 years ago, Congressman Coble tried to use his sharp pencil to eliminate congressional pensions altogether. Today, he says it's up to each individual member to decide, like him, whether they'll take a pension.
I pledged my assurance that I would not take the pension. That's between my constituents and me. As far as the felons, the convicted felons, I guess that's between their constituents and themselves.
Congressional felons given gold watches that never stop ticking, courtesy of your tax dollars. Cheryl Atkinson, CBS News, Washington.